Good afternoon and welcome to Wads and Bark, 90 minutes live in association with Easy Shelf, bringing you football in Southern League Division 1 Central. First game for us in the Southern League this season brings Ware and North Leigh together. But 16 months ago, the two of them played here, of course, in the playoff final. That's the last time they met. I was here then. I'm Peter Hill, and I'll be bringing you full live commentary as always. And it wouldn't be the same without a match summariser and YouTube guru, Simon Alamandi.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pete. Good afternoon, everyone. Fantastic to be back here in the Southern League and looking forward to this game. It's always a great game between these two sides. Three great games a couple of seasons ago. Let's see what today brings. Two
teams coming out then. Let's take you through the team lineups. A couple of changes for Ware, which we'll tell you about. In goal, Fred Burbidge. It's going to be a back four. Jordan Spearman will be a right back. David Sota on the left side of the defence. And the one change, Darian Furlong comes in to make his first full start in the league for Lewis Rose, who's relegated to the bench. Dan Rumans will be the skipper and Darian's central defensive partner. In midfield, Jack Draper, Freddie Moncur, and then wide we'll see Joe Dearman and Theo Afori in support of Mitch Hahn, who will wear the number 9 shirt. So Ware substitutes this afternoon: Richard Ennin, Joel Jacobs, Lewis Rose, Matt Walsh and Bailey Eden. As far as North Leigh are concerned, well, they've only got one player who played in that playoff final, and actually the two lineups this afternoon shows how much things have changed in the last 16 months. Nobody on the field starting off played in that playoff final. They'll start with James Foster in goal, Jamal Branca, George Gilmore, Owen Dorr, Declan Peart, Jack Tutton, Greg Hackett, Lance Williams, Linton Goss, Dan Walsh and Carnell Chambers. And on the substitutes bench is the assistant manager Michael Hopkins, who's taking charge of the side this afternoon in the absence of James Keller, Riley Cotter, Lewis Thorne, Kian McNally and Danny Lucas. So, well, you always look back on meetings between teams, but bearing in mind this is completely different squads, I don't think that's going to mean a lot.
No, I don't think it will. Obviously, we've got Paul here still as well, and a couple of the Ware players were here, at that time. As you say, they didn't start the game. But I don't think it's going to mean as much to them as it possibly could have done.
And if you're listening from the Oxfordshire area, very good afternoon and welcome. Thanks to North Leigh, as always, for publicising our commentary. The two skippers are in the centre circle with this afternoon's referee Stuart Latham, who's seen action with the local club already this season. He was the referee when Hertford won 3-2 at Biggleswade Town, and he booked 9 on that occasion. So maybe a referee. He's given both skippers a bit of a lecture out there, so a referee to have a look at. He tosses the coin up. North Leigh are going to be in yellow shirts, black shorts and black socks, wearing the familiar blue and white striped shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. Two skippers shake hands, and Lewis Rose on the bench. Bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know what Paul's thoughts are behind that, but it's good to see Dan Rumans recovering from the flu and starting out there. Obviously, skipper in the side today in Lewis's absence. So, we'll see later on if Lewis makes any sort of appearance.
Yeah, Dan was struggling last week. That's why he went off at half-time in the FA Cup win against AFC Dunstable. But Simon says, back and fit. North Leigh are going to be kicking from right to left. Our commentary position here at Wadson Park, almost bang on the halfway line at the back of the stand, just where we like it. Referee checks with both his assistants, and we'll blow the whistle, and away we go in this one in Central League, Southern League Division 1 Central. This long kick forward immediately onto the head of Darian Furlong, will wear 5 for Ware. A little bit of head tennis going on. Declan Nisha goes up, wins it. Jack Dreyer goes up and is beaten to it. And the ball will land on this near side at the feet of Carnell Chambers, who hooks it rather hopefully forward. towards Fred Burbage's goal. It's a little bit sparse in terms of crowd, but people still, of course, on their holidays, I'm sure, as Declan Nish is robbed of the ball and Linton Goss will pick it up. Tries to bring in Greg Hackett. Declan forces him away on that far side and in fact does a good job, atones for his earlier mistake, and Ware will win themselves a throw-in midway inside their own half. North Leigh, strange start of the season for them because they've lost 2 home games and won 1 away. Lost 4-3 at home on opening day to Barton Rovers and lost last week in the FA Cup to Bishop Cleeve. But in between that, they won 4-2 at AFC Dunstable, who were here last week, of course. Which Ware put out of the FA Cup, set themselves up a meeting with Dereham Town here next Saturday. I mean, Paul said he wanted a home tie and he got it.
That's it, yeah. Obviously, home tie is more beneficial. You want to get the crowd in behind your team. Put an extra few pounds in the coffers. And as he said, he wasn't too fussed about who they get. Just wanted that home tie, and that's exactly what they got.
Well, so I put on Twitter, just my luck, I'm going on holiday in Norfolk. There's a Norfolk team come here. But there you go. Joe Dearman's going to have a go from quite a long way out, 30 yards out, scuffed it rather with the left foot, and it goes well wide of the target. And James Foster, who's an experienced goalkeeper. There's a few experienced lads in this team, plus a few that have come through from the youth setup down there at Eynsham Park, definitely the most picturesque ground in Southern League Division 1 Central, in the grounds of Eynsham Hall, which we'll learn a bit about at half time as we tell you a little bit about North Leigh. As Hackett on the far side tries to bring in Linton Goss, the former Burke Hampstead and Tame United man, just pulled up a little bit there, but, looking down a bit ruefully, but hope he's going to be okay. It's going to be David Soter who will take the throw-in for Ware. Ware's 3, former Potters Bar Town player. As the ball lands onto the head of Greg Hackett, finds Linton Goss again. Puts the ball back to Jack Tutton. Tutton's ball on the inside will find Hackett, whose shot is blocked well by Darian Furlong. And Freddie Moncur will find Joe Dearman, whose ball almost sought out Theo Afori on this near side, but was headed up by George Gilmore. Ware have got it back though with Joe Dearman. Dearman's cross though well blocked by the big frame of the number 5 Declan Pitt. He's given it away to Jack Dreyer. Freddie Moncur's got it now onto the halfway line to Dan Romans. Here's Darian Furlong. Long ball on that far side, searching out Joe Dearman, but overcooked it a little bit. Ball goes out for a throw-in on that far side to our visitors. North Leigh, of course, were promoted, went up to the Premier League. Found it a bit tough going. Almost achieved the unthinkable when they did a Houdini act and trying to save themselves from relegation, but in the end ended 4 points off safety. Theo Afori's got the ball for Ware. Good challenge coming in from Chambers. Robs him and finds Lance Williams. Ball on the outside now to Greg Hackett. Hackett's long ball on this far side, looking for Chambers again, who'd strolled up on this side, unattended, but Darian Furlong's on the case now for Ware. Puts the ball back, ball comes into the box out by Freddie Moncur. Good header up by Jack Dreyer, but brought back down by North Leigh. Long ball sent forward by Jamal Branco, who's playing at right back, but the ball goes out for a goal kick to Ware. 4 minutes gone here on 90 Minutes Live in association with our new sponsors Easy Shelf, who we thank very much, and will keep us going for non-league commentaries throughout the season of Ware, Hertford Town and Welwyn Garden City. Both Hertford and Welwyn Garden City away this afternoon. Hertford at Aylesbury United have made a couple of signings in the week, and Welwyn Garden City looking to build on that victory in the FA Cup as they're away at Kidlington. Fred Burbage takes the goal kick for Ware, and midway inside the North Leigh half at the feet of Mitch Hahn, who does well. Finds David Soter on the halfway line. Soter for Joe Dearman, who's already been lively in this one. No Reece Monsagna on the squad this afternoon. as Fred Burbage gets it back inside his area. Here's Darian Furlong. Forward for Declan Niche. Declan gets the ball down the line for Jordan Spearman. Takes a little deflection. And Ware have themselves a throw-in. Overcast skies at Watson Park. Nice sunshine when we were here last week. Not quite so nice today. As Darian Furlong will take the throw-in. Those of us that were listening to our commentary last week will know how far that could be. And once again, he hurls another long one forward. Northley sorted out, but Freddie Moncur will get it back down the line. Mitch Hahn is beaten to it. Ball cleared, but Freddie will get it back and play the ball to his left. Brings in Dan Rumans inside the centre circle. Dan's got David Soter outside him. Joe Dearman now makes the dart for the left-hand touchline. But David Soter's ball doesn't find him. In fact, doesn't find anybody. It goes all the way out for the goal kick, which will be taken by James Foster. Top of the table, Biggleswade, Bedford and Stotfold are the three teams to stop at the moment, all of them unbeaten. 6 from 2 games for all three of those. Biggleswade are home to Leighton Town this afternoon. Bedford go to Hadley. And Stotfold play Cirencester, that's 3rd against 4th. So arguably the game of the day in Division 1 Central. Here's Joe Dearman, left-hand side of the box. Good flick on by Theo Afori. Gets the ball off of Branca and it goes out for the first corner of the afternoon to be taken on that far side of the field. Joe Dearman's going to take it. Dan Rumans and Darian Furlong are strolling up from the back. And Northley, applause to Michael Hopkins, got 2 forward. Linton Goss and Carnell Chambers both forward. As the corner's going to come across from Joe Dearman to the far post. Declan Niche tries to keep it in, mishits it, but Dan Rumans will get a hold of it again down by the corner flag and forces another corner. So challenge comes in from Lance Williams. So corner to be taken on this near side. Mitch Hahn normally gets the corners on the right flank, and Mitch is going to go down and take this one. Joe Dearman maybe fancying the short one, but Mitch dummies that option and then does take it up. Joe Dearman's got it left hand side onto the left foot, and oh dear, goes almost out and almost hits the corner flag on the far side. I think Mitch will think that shouldn't really have taken the short corner there.
No, I'm sure if he had the option again, he'd put it into the box. But yeah, unfortunately, you can't use foresight in those situations, can you?
You live and learn. Mitch, who got his first goal for his new club last week in the FA Cup against AFC Dunstable. Good game it was against an AFC Dunstable side who certainly impressed. Northley have got it deep inside their own half for their central defender, Declan Peart. This ball is headed back by Dan Rumans. Declan Niche does well. He's got Mitch Hahn making a run down the right, but here's Jordan Spearman midway inside the Northley half. Pulls it back for Freddie Moncur. Freddie's got the chance to pick out Theo Afori on the edge of the box. Theo turns well, turns right, turns left. Still there is Theo, had chance firing the shot. Didn't take it. Here's Joe Dearman trying to get it on the left foot. Jordan Spearman, Ware still in possession. Freddie Moncur to Dearman on the edge of the area. Challenge comes in. Looked a pretty heavy one, but referee didn't want to know about it. Ware have got it back with Mitch Hahn midway inside the Northley half. He finds Joe Dearman. Dearman onto the left boot, headed out from the edge of the area, but Northley can't get the lines clear at the moment. Dearman's got it again. Joe Dearman going from right to left, brings in Theo Afori. Afori tries to find Jack Dreyer. Will Jack keep it in? He does, and does well to keep it in, and wins another corner off of Owen Dorr. Good bit of sustained pressure by the home side. Mitch Hahn will take the corner. Joe Dearman again, he's looking for the short one. Could be a good option this actually, because Northley hadn't picked him up. Jones controls it rather, brings in Freddie Moncur, will try the shots all the way along the ground. Theo Afori was the closest player to it, but goes behind for a goal kick. So neither goalkeeper worried in the opening 10 minutes here at Watson Park in a commentary game on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf. Of course, you can follow us during the week. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on everything else, I think, these days. We're on YouTube as well, but we have decided TikTok not good because the dancing's not up to it, I think.
That would be a horror show, wouldn't it? I think?
Oh, that would, yeah. That's an image you don't want, I'll tell you. Theo Afori making a run for the ball against Dorr. Theo's there, and Dorr just got his foot in, did Owen Dorr, as Theo was looking at firing it in from round about the penalty spot. Young defender did well in the end. Got a history in North Leigh, of course. His dad used to manage the team a few years back. It's going to be a long throw-in on that far side, though, parallel to the edge of the North Leigh 18-yard box. No surprise to Ware fans that Darian Furlong is going to go over there and take it. Darian, if you don't get much of a run-up here at Watson Park, but doesn't seem to bother him too much. He's going to be another one that's going to be hurled into the 6-yard box. There it goes, high in the air, lands inside the 6-yard box, headed up in the air, and then finally on its way, but only as far as Freddie Moncur. Finds Darian Furlong again, can't chip it across because his way was blocked by Dan West, challenged by Jamal Branker. Seemed to put Declan Nish off balance, but the referee has given a throw in, which as we found is as good as a corner. So Darian's going to get another go. It's all Ware for the last 3 or 4 minutes. They haven't really tested the goalkeeper, James Foster. Darian Furlong again from that far side with another long throw then. This one again lands by the 6-yard box. He's headed well out of play by Lance Williams as far as Freddie Moncur, who fires it in, and the goalkeeper has to make his first save. Fairly comfortable with James Foster, but he did have to dive to his right to collect the ball. As good challenge comes in from Jack Dreyer on this near side on Owen Dorr. And Ware once again get a chance to camp inside the North Leigh half. Haven't actually scored a goal against North Leigh in league football. They did score 2 in the playoff final, but the 2 in the league that the two teams met ended 0-0. As Jordan Spearman puts it down the line onto the head of Owen Dorr, going to be headed up into the air by Declan Peart, but Spearman will get it back, goes outside Owen Dorr, who just gets a block on the ball, and Lance Williams will look to clear. But on this near side it's Owen Dorr who does finally clear. Only Linton Goss is up, but he does well, controls the ball, brings in Greg Hackett. Numbers coming into the box, one of them Garnell Chambers on this left-hand side. Declan Nishi will sort that out for Ware though, and via Freddie Moncur finds Jordan Spearman and gets a round of applause. Spearman's long ball forward looking for Mitch Hahn. Owen Dorr was in the way, and on this near side of the field again, it's good. Challenge comes in from Jordan Spearman, and Theo Afori. The ball breaks to him right hand side of the box. He's got reinforcements in there. Theo finds Freddie Moncur, who has his pocket picked by Lance Williams right at the last minute, and the ball goes out for a Ware corner. Freddie was just pulling the trigger there.
Yeah, he was looking to open his account for the season there, wouldn't he? And just about managed to clear it in time before he could connect.
Good defending by the North Leigh skipper, Lance Williams. And Ware got a corner. This time Joe Damon's going to take it. Maybe he fancies the other one. He does. It's a short one, but this time to Mitch Hahn. Mitch puts the ball across. Darian Furlong can't meet it. Once more it's Williams who gets the ball away. As far as Linton Goss controls it well. And Greg Hackett just about keeps it in play, but Jordan Spearman gets a foot in. And will put the ball back to Freddie Burbidge inside his own penalty area. Waft of smoke from the barbecue goes across Watson Park. Good place to come for a kebab if that's your fancy. Theo Afori loses out to Jamal Branker, and Dan West will pick it up. He watched Fred Burbidge had come a bit forward, tried the spectacular, but on one bounce it goes into Fred's midriff, and he can bowl it out to Darian Furlong. Darian finds Declan Nish. We're 15 minutes in, 0-0 here at Watson Park on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf. Joe Demon will pick it up and find Jordan Spearman. Spearman all the way back once again to Fred Burbage in the fluorescent lime kit. Long ball forward, Branca slips because they're ahead of Phil Afori. Declan Nish goes up again. Freddie Moncur can't collect it and is shoved aside by Linton Goss, who then bounces it off for Joe Dearman. Comes forward again. Linton Goss for Greg Hackett will fire it in. Good save and points at the back of the net, but it won't count because Carnell Chambers was offside. Good save from Freddie Burbage, pushed it away. Carnell Chambers was there, but the linesman on that far side flagged very quickly up, and difficult angle for us to see, but I think he got that right.
Yeah, definitely. It looks offside to me from where I am. I mean, obviously, we don't have the benefit of looking back at screens, but Paul was voicing his displeasure at the defence anyway, which obviously he's going to do whether it's a goal allowed or not. It's still a defensive error that's allowed that.
Northley coming forward again with Jack Tutton, finds Jamal Branca on the far side, cross goes to the far post. Greg Hackett is blocked by Jordan Spearman, and the referee points to the spot here. Well, Hackett and Spearman met on the edge of the area, and Paul's not going to be happy about that as well. The referee has pointed to the penalty spot.
Well, again, I mean, as I've said before, we don't have the benefit of looking at things back, but it's a dubious decision, I think we could say.
16 minutes in, and Northley a chance to go ahead here, although Ware have had the most of the ball. Referee still having a debate with Dan Rumans, but he's not going to change his mind. It was Jordan Spearman and Greg Hackett on the line inside the area. Hackett went down, immediately appealed, and the referee pointed to the penalty spot. Well, you can see what you think of that on our YouTube coverage tomorrow. But Carnell Chambers has got the chance to score his first goal of the season against Freddie Burbage from 12 yards out. So referee has a look, make sure everybody's out of the box. And Carnell Chambers will hit this with the right foot and beyond Freddie Burbage into the bottom left-hand corner. And Northley go in front with a controversial penalty. It must be said, they lead here by a goal to nil.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, Dan Rumans was, protesting with the ref. He's still doing so now. But as you correctly said, Pete, he's awarded the penalty. He's not going to say, "Oh, hang on, let me change my mind." I understand why the protest is happening, but you've just got to accept it. And it looks like he's getting his book out and booking someone now.
Yeah, I think it'll be Freddie Moncur who said something, or is it Dan? It's the two of them are over there with our referee. And the yellow card, Freddie turns away a bit disconsolate. Referee's looking at his watch as well, but I think he's going to book Freddie. He might book Dan as well. So controversy here as rain starts to fall at Watson Park. Not expecting much of that this afternoon. Yellow card, Freddie Moncur. Looks like Dan Rumans has escaped. So,
well, I mean, you say about the rain, Pete. I'm sure over my headphones I've heard a couple of rumbles of thunder as well. So it looks like the summer weather for now could be over.
You sure that wasn't Wolsey on the way back?
It could well have been.
Darian Furlong then, Ware have got to come from behind here. Don't particularly deserve to be behind, but and the rain on cue comes absolutely pelting down now. Declan Nish under pressure from Hackett, and it's Northley who've got their tails up. Oh dear, Jack Tutton went over the top on Declan Nish. That's worth a yellow card. Declan goes down to number 4's meet, and that was over the top challenge. Deserves a yellow, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And Declan there doesn't look too comfortable. Kevin Coons waiting to come on with the medical bag, and the thing is, I mean, Jack Tutton's made a quick escape, but the referee's not going to let him get away with that.
Yeah, I don't think his Houdini act is going to work here, because Jack Tutton's been called to our referee. And I would be extremely surprised if he doesn't see a card the same colour as his shirt, because the referee's getting it out of his pocket already here. So Jack Tutton's going to go in the referee's book to join Freddie Moncur just a couple of seconds ago. Suddenly we've got rain and mist from the barbecue coming across here.
It's going right across us as well.
Surreal,
smell it. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not. It's not fair at all.
It's not like at half-time we can go down and get a quick kebab, is it really? But never mind.
Not good. Not good for the hungry commentators. Darian Furlong's going to restart anyway with the free kick for Ware. Long one, looking on that far side again for Joe Dearman, who goes up, wins it well, it'll land inside the box. Declan Peart doesn't get the best of headers to it. Sutton helps it on its way, back in by Declan Leigh. Is Jack Dreyer. Jack finds Jordan Spearman. It's got Theo Afori on the right-hand side. Hugging the touchline against Owen Dorr. Drifts inside. Is Declan Leigh tries the shot. Oh, he snatched at it, goes over the crossbar, but that was a good opportunity.
Yeah, great chance for him. I think his eyes just lightened up a little bit, didn't he? And he had a little bit of space down to the keeper's right, but he's blasted it over the crossbar instead.
Oh, it definitely was a roll of thunder. So, rain absolutely bucketing down there at Watson Park. I mean, the difference is the surface, of course. We've got the artificial surface here. 21 minutes gone. Ware 0, Northley 1. A disputed penalty from Parnell Chambers. There's the difference between the two sides. To say Ware haven't really got going as Mitch Hahn goes to the edge of the area and claims that the goalkeeper James Foster had the ball outside the box. Referee again not interested. And on this near side, Greg Hackett, who's involved in the real controversy with the penalty, will find Owen Dorr. Jack Tutton back into the area. Long ball on this near side, goes out of touch as Darian Furlong and Linton Goss wrestle with each other. A little bit of afters and there's a little bit of niggle occurring here. Nice to see that smile on the face of both players, but it's got a little bit tetchy since that penalty.
Yeah, definitely has. And go back to that incident where it looks like it was out of the box. I immediately thought that the keeper come out of his box himself. So who knows?
Yes. Plenty to talk about. Is Darian Furlong from the halfway line. Doesn't mean a lot with his throw though. Goes towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Owen Dorr heads it forward. Linton Goss has it. Darian managed to just get a foot in and put him off for a bit. Long ball on the side, looking for Hackett. Dan Romans will head that down. Linton Goss back in possession though. He's a difficult player to shake off the ball. It's Lance Williams back into his own area for George Gilmore. Gilmore finds Lance Williams, the skipper. Is Declan Peart. But Jack Dreyer does well to rob him. Mitch Hahn can't get hold of the ball though, and it'll go all the way through to the goalkeeper James Foster, who's really had one save to make, made it comfortably. Greg Hackett here on the halfway line. Turns back for Owen Dorr for Lance Williams. Keep the ball, says the assistant manager Michael Hopkins. That's exactly what his team are doing at the moment. George Gilmore looks up, right-footed downfield, looking for Linton Goss. Spearman's in the way, but Northley will get a throw midway inside the Ware half. Freddie Moncur does well to rob Hackett, then gives it away to Gilmore. Tutton's back heel finds Greg Hackett. Greg Hackett looks for the run of Chambers, and the ball will bounce off of, I think it was David Sota in the end, and Fred Burbidge will come out and collect it before he has a chance of going over for a corner. Big weekend football in the Southern League, of course. Big weekend for us. He starts Derby on Monday. We'll be there. Hertford against Ware, live from 2:55. As Paul Horsey reminded us before the kick-off here, sitting on the fence.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I mean, I was at work yesterday and looked at the rota, and my name's worked down for working Monday afternoon. And I booked a day off, so I said to my boss, I said, "You know, I'm not in Monday." He was like, "Oh, I thought you was." And yeah, I had to point out. So luckily, or hopefully, I won't be getting a phone call at 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon asking where I am.
Well, you could bring some of the groceries with you. I mean, we could have more than just a donut. But Ball on that far side with Freddie Moncur. That long ball forward, and again, not really joining together at the moment. This Ware line-up. Theo Wafori and Joe Demon have seen a little bit of the ball wide, but it's that support in the central midfield area. Declan Nish has only got forward once, and Jack Dreyer not really getting there either. That's where they're being outnumbered. As Declan Peart, who has got his favourite Skittles, evidently. He packs them before he comes to every game. I don't mean the big wooden things, I mean the fruit sweets. That was a rather quirky tweet from North Leigh this morning.
I don't think there'd be space on the coach on the way up here for a game of Skittles, would there?
No, it's North Leigh. If it was a team from Somerset, then that would be different. You know, they'd probably have an alley on the coach, but not from Oxfordshire. Lance Williams heads the ball up. Declan Nish goes in, does well. Robs Hackett is rather isolated down on this right-hand side. Does manage to get the ball across the box. Good catch coming from the goalkeeper James Foster as Jack Dreyer was homing in on him on the edge of the 6-yard box. North Leigh, who away from home last season, they won 4 times and probably had a better away record in the Premier League than they did in a home record. Drew 4 and won 4. Did have some heavy beatings in the Premier League at the beginning of the season for them, though. They got Cirencester at home on Monday, followed by Aylesbury United, another home game for them next Saturday. Where, of course, as we were saying, off to Hertford on Monday. Next Saturday, Dereham are here in the FA Cup. As Ware looked to put together another one of those runs they did a couple of seasons ago, where they ended up the 3rd qualifying round. Very unlucky not to beat Kidderminster Harriers here. North Leigh got a free kick. George Gilmore will take it with the right boot. Goes for the edge of the area. The header comes in from Dan West, but Lyndon Goss can't get there. Fred Burbage can, so Fred will have the ball for Ware. Barry Furlong for Declan Nish, who's coming a little bit shorter to get the ball, but again he's given it away to Jack Tutton. The ball on this near side, looking for Greg Hackett. Out comes Fred Burbage, had a good read on it. As always, favourite to get there, but once again we're giving the ball away needlessly in midfield. I really feel that perhaps Declan and Jack Dreyer should be playing further up the field here, or one of them should. They started to get it together in the second half against AFC Dunstable when that happened, and I think it needs to happen here as the goalkeeper comes out and collects the ball off the head of Owen Dorr, and it's really a bit of a mix and match there between Jack Dreyer and Declan Nish as to who goes forward, who stays a little bit further back, and I think the two of them haven't quite worked it out so far this afternoon, as Carnell Chambers on that far side against David Sota. Here's Jamal Branca, puts the ball across the box over the top of Lyndon Goss, but he's going to keep it in. Jordan Spearman is the defender for Ware. Lyndon Goss still with the ball. Did it go out of play? No, it didn't. There's Jack Tutton. Jack Tutton will bring in Owen Dorr, who's Lyndon Goss. Dangerous position on the edge of the area. Owen Dorr's cross, and good defending coming in the end from Dan Rumads, who gives away the corner as Dan West looked to be coming in with a chance on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, great defending there from Dan. You know, as you say, a dangerous looking cross, but dealt with superbly.
Corner's going to be taken on this near side by Owen Dorr. Carnell Chambers came looking for the short one, but he's waved him away. So the corner comes across for post. The header comes in from Declan Peart. It flicked off the head of Dan Romans, and then Peart had it, but it skimmed off his forehead and went out for a goal kick as the rain continues to fall here at Wadson Park. Just approaching the half-hour mark. Ware 0, North Leigh 1. The goal coming from the penalty spot after 17 minutes from Carnell Chambers, after Jordan Spearman and Greg Hackett had clashed inside the 6-yard box. Penalty or not? Well, Fred Burbage has made to hurry up. Lyndon Goss has gone into the goalkeeper there. Fred stayed down. And, well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that challenge.
Well, I mean, it looked like he might have just caught. He's caught Fred on the ankle, definitely. But whether he got the ball first or not, I don't know. But Fred looks rather uncomfortable there, laying on the floor as Kevin Coon goes over to see to him. Kevin Coon on the medical bag today. That's something we haven't seen for quite a while.
He's a man of many parts.
He is, isn't he? I mean,
filling water bottles, taking the medical bag.
He'll turn his hand at anything, won't he?
Fred's sitting up, which is a good sign. And now just getting up on these oranges. I think he's going to be okay. Took a bit of a bang last week from Joe Shamalo of AFC Dunstable, didn't he? At the other end, sort of fairly similar.
Yeah, he's been in the wars the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
As referee's going to restart the game. A few Ware players over getting some instructions from Ryan Wade, the assistant manager. He's having a word with Freddie Moncur at the moment. But referee wants the ball on that far side. He's going to restart it with a drop ball, I think. Dan West and David Sota are the two players there. Referee drops it at the feet of David Sota, who chips it down the line looking for Joe Dearman over everybody's head, and Declan Peart will put it back to his goalkeeper James Foster. James Foster in red this afternoon. Long ball forward, David Sota, good header down. But the ball in the end finds its way to Carnell Chambers, who's a little lively on that far side. Dan Rumans comes in, he's not going to get that. That's halfway to Royston down the A10, I think, the way he hit that one. Way out of play. And new ball is called for. Throw in to be taken on that far side from Declan Baird, who's come up from the back. So I would guess that this one's going to be hurled towards the box, as once again this game ever been postponed could have smoked from a kebab.
I was just thinking, because I think the playoff final. I think the playoff final we had the same thing. Yeah,
as the header goes on, Linton Goss tries to get hold of it. Darian Furlong got just in the way. Greg Hackett is beaten by Declan Nish, and the ball bounces in the end into the arms of Fred Burbidge. Joe Dearman tries to send the ball down looking for Mitch Hahn, who's not played much part in the game so far. 90 criticism of him, he hasn't had any service. But throw in not taken from the right position by Joe, and so David Sota will take it some 10 yards inside the Ware half, their far side of the field. Freddie Moncur all the way back to Fred Burbidge. 32 minutes gone on the watch here at Watson Park, and all that's given away by Dan Rumans. And here's Linton Goss, and luckily for Ware, he didn't get the pass right and allowed Darian Furlong to clear it before Hackett could get hold of it. There's Chambers again. Owen Dorr. The ball forward by Lance Williams. Carnell Chambers, though, has given it away. Freddie Moncur, though, only gives it as far as Jack Tutton. But now Joe Dearman's got a chance. Move forward for Ware. Right-hand side is Theo Ofori. That's a good ball. George Gilmore in front of him. Theo turns inside, will tee up the shot. Oh, wide of the target, but a good touch by the goalkeeper in the end. And goes behind for a corner. And probably the best Ware have produced so far.
Yeah, definitely Ware's best opportunity of the game. Lovely little run from Theo. Those are the sort of runs that we know he can do, and that does create problems for defending teams.
Mitch Hard's going to take the corner. This one, I think, is going to go into the box. Joe Dearman doesn't fancy the short one. Referee just need a new ball, evidently. Don't like the feel of that one. So new football is provided by Ryan Wade. Boots it out to the edge of the 18-yard box. Fred Mitch will get the chance. He's saying the assistant, this one all right. Seemed to like it. So Mitch will take the corner with the right foot. Low one goes across. Jack Dorao can't get hold of it. It's Freddie Moncur, tries a shot, miscues it. It bounces off of Lance Williams to Declan Nishi on that far side against Jamal Branca. Branca gets the foot in. Dan Rumans will retrieve it. Find David Sota on the halfway line for Ware. David Sota's ball forward, not a good one, and Dearman's given it away. And away comes Linton Goss. He'll take some stopping when he picks up ahead of speed, but Freddie Moncur does well, then gets shrugged aside. Jack Tutton has it back for North Leigh, and Owen Dorr has it on this near side, onto the halfway line for George Gilmore. George Gilmore to his central defensive partner Owen Peart on that far side, and Carnell Chambers has got some room to run into right hand side of the box. Chambers with Dan Rumans there, fires it in, it goes it takes a deflection I think and goes into the side netting, and there's going to be a corner for North Leigh on that far side, and he's looked the man, hasn't he? Carnell Chambers, he's popped up right and left, and Ware haven't really got hold of him.
Yeah, no, he has created a few problems, hasn't he, for Ware, and I think that's something they need to take hold of before he causes any more.
I think it's becoming one of these afternoons where I'd love a microphone in the Ware dressing room at half time, because I don't think Wolsey's going to be happy. Corner's going to be taken on that far side, defending to be done. Here, Fred Burbage can't get there, and Peart heads it just over the top. He was under challenge from Dan Romans, but Dan did just about enough to put the big number 5 off, and the ball goes over for a goal kick to Ware. So North Leigh in front here, penalty scored after 17 minutes from Carnell Chambers. And then after Greg Hackett and Jordan Spearman had met inside the 6-yard box, and the referee had pointed to the spot, much to the protest from Ware, their supporters and their management. But it did look a little soft from here, it's got to be said, but you can see it again tomorrow. The highlights of this one will be up on our YouTube channel. There'll be match commentary highlights and the thoughts of Paul Horsey, of course, on the match highlights channel on Spreaker as well. And plenty of stuff on Twitter. Should we call it X now? Twitter.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, we should be calling it X, shouldn't we? I read a lot of times on news channels and things like that. They always say X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
So maybe we should call it that.
Here's Joe Dearman. Tries to put the ball across the box. Oh, unsure until Owen Dorr heads it out on the edge of the area. And Theo Afori tries to curl one in. And just overcooks it and puts it over the top of the crossbar. Yeah, it's sort of the artist formerly known as Prince, isn't it? It's that kind of same thing.
Same sort of format, isn't it? Yeah.
You do wonder about rebranding when people have to put formerly known as. It might mean that the one that you've got probably is not doing the job. But,
well, that's it. I mean, we have conversations. Obviously, we've mentioned it, a few times before. I mentioned it in the pre-match walkabout sort of thing. And yeah, everyone still calls it Twitter. I've not heard one person call it X.
Yeah, it's poor old Larry the Bird who got the worst deal out there. Excommunicated, as it were. Kick forwards will land on the halfway line. Declan Nishi forward for Ware. Further forward by Joe Dearman. Up in the air by George Gillespie. And long ball forward. But once again, the ball pushed out of play on that far side by George Gilmore. And David Sota for Freddie Moncur midway inside the North Leigh half. Onto the edge of the area finds Mitch Hahn. Looks to get a bit of a push in the back from Declan Peart, but ball's kept in on that far side. Dan Rumans has to go and collect. Darian Furlong will have it. Approaches the halfway line, looks up and just about gets the ball away from Linton Goss. And back to Freddie Burbage. Dan Rumans again. Long ball forward, looking for Joe Dearman, beaten in the air by Jamal Branca, who puts it over the top of the stand on the far side. And Ware will have themselves a throw in. Waiting for another ball. We've had one go over the back, haven't we? We've had one that the referee's assistant didn't like the look of. And the ball coming now towards David Sota. He's midway inside the North Leigh half. A little interested that Darian Furlong didn't fancy this one, but he's not going to take it. David Sota then for Ware. Got plenty in the way, Matt. Joe Dearman running closest player to him. Mitch Harn's on the edge of the box. Mitch now comes a little shorter. Picks the ball up and controls it well and manages to win another throw-in. Here is Joe Dearman. Left-hand side. Declan Nish picks it up. Plays the ball across the area. Is Jack Dreyer. Heavy touch first time, but he still manages to find Freddie Moncur. Freddie has to go backwards for Dan Romans. Dan's ball left to right will pick up Theo Afori, who's strayed over onto his right-hand side. Jordan Spearman does well. Gets the ball across the box, but it's cleared from the edge of the 6-yard box by George Gilmore. Here's Linton Goss. Linton Goss for Greg Hackett. Hackett comes across the halfway line. Thought that Goss had continued the run, but he hadn't. And in the end gets it wrong, and the ball goes all the way through to Freddie Burbidge. Freddie for Jordan Spearman. Finds Freddie Moncur. Freddie's ball forward for Theo Afori. Does well. Turn inside Owen Dorr. And then puts the ball through the Mitch Hahn, but surely the referee's going to bring it back for a free kick. As Theo turned there, but the referee is indeed going to give Ware a free kick, which is going to be a yellow card, I think.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. He's just calling him towards him now, and he's not reached for his pocket yet, but maybe it's just going to be a talking to.
Yeah, so no, he's reaching for the card. So out comes another yellow card for our referee, who's going to be shown by way of the number 19, Owen Dorr. Third man in the book. The referee has a little bit of a chat with the defender, and then he produces the yellow card. Freddie Moncur will take the free kick for Ware. 4 minutes before the break here at Watson Park. They trail by a goal to nil. Freddie waits. Right-footed across, looking for the head of Dan Rumans. Can't get there. Williams heads it out. Declan Nish finds Freddie Moncur. There's not anybody going wide right, so has to turn left and bring in David Sotar on the halfway line. Finds Joe Dearman far side. He has to turn back away from the attentions of Jamal Branca. Jordan Spearman for Freddie Moncur on the halfway line. Freddie chips the ball forward, looking for Theo Afori. Williams puts it up in the air to midway inside his own half. Brought down by Linton Goss. His ball on this near side. Was Hackett offside there? Well, flag stayed down. Here's Greg Hackett in the area, gets it onto the left foot, pulls it across. Here's Linton Goss, and North Leigh have gone 2-0 up. Well, whether Greg Hackett was offside or not, the referee wasn't interested, and Linton Goss puts the ball in the back of the net to score his third goal of the season 3 minutes before half time. And this is going to be some teams up from Ballsy, I think.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy at all with that as well. I mean, whether it is offside or not, but he's put the ball across and he's absolutely smashed it in at great pace, and left Fred Burbidge, nothing he could do about that. He was trying to track back across his goal, and as you say, just before half time, it's 2-0.
Well, could it be a case of history repeating itself if you remember that playoff final? North Leigh actually went 2-0 up about 2 minutes after half time on that occasion, and Ware came storming back at them. So they're going to have to come storming back in the second half here. It's been disappointing stuff from the home side so far, it's got to be said. Theo Afori's effort, it's the closest that they've come. And they find themselves 2 goals down here. Dan Rubens has the ball deep inside his own half. Looking up, not got much movement in front of him. Finds Jordan Spearman. Cross onto the halfway line, turns backward again to Freddie Moncur. Freddie delays, and Mitch Hahn does well to pick the ball away from Williams. Brings in Theo Afori, right hand side of the box. Theo tries to take it across the box, slips in the end, and it goes over for a goal kick. Theo has stayed down there. He was a little bit ginger getting up. I think he just maybe took a knock off the fence. But it's going to be a goal kick to North Leigh. Rain's abated, sun's come out. A little bit of blue sky above us. And looks like the kebabs are cooking a bit better now. We haven't got quite so much going across the pitch. I always get moaned at home if I do not the barbecue. Look at all that smoke you're producing for the neighbours. There's a long kick forward by James Foster onto that far side over David Sota's head. But the referee thought he got a touch, and the referee's assistant thought he got a touch. Dan Rumans has that bemused look, as if what? But it's a throw to North Leigh. I scored 4 in the first half, of course. AFC Dunstable, all the goals in that game, it was a 1-4-2, came before half-time. They've scored 2 in the first half here. And Ware are certainly going to have to produce something special in the second half. If far side of the field. North Leigh have got a throw in. We're in the last minute of the half. Referee's already looked at his watch. As on the edge of the area, David Soter gets a foot in front of Linton Goss, and Dan Rumans finally clears the halfway line. Straight on to head of Declan Peart, and ball runs out for a throw in to Ware, which David Soter, and Ware's number 3, will taking his time about it as we enter into time added on for stoppages. Joe Dearman can't get the ball, forward by Jamal Branca. Up in the air goes Freddie Moncur, brings it down on his chest and shields it away from Linton Goss. David Soter's long ball forward, Mitch Hahn can't get hold of that. And up in the air by Lance Williams on the halfway line. He'll get the ball back, and here's Greg Hackett. Hackett plays the ball to his right to Dan West. The ball across from Linton Goss, and Ware managed to sort that out. But Jack Tutton's got it midway inside the Ware half. Finds his skipper Lance Williams, who has to go back into the centre circle for George Gilmore. George Gilmore's ball brings Jamal Branca forward on that far side, and he gets deflection off David Soter and goes behind for a corner. A minute and a half of time added on played at the end of this first half, and it's the visitors who are threatening again as Linton Goss and Owen Dorr are going over on that far side to take the corner, where I've got Joe Dearman and Theo Ofori forward as they tend to have players forward at corner kicks for the opposition. It's going to be Owen Dorr who's going to take it. Linton Goss is still there. I wonder if they just fancy playing this out to the half-time whistle, but Owen Dorr waves him away. We'll take the corner kick over to the far post again, and Declan Peart was in there. It skimmed off top of his head. Dan West gone down, and it's going to be cleared by Mitch Hahn for Ware towards Joe Dearman, but only onto the head of Jack Tutton. Mitch Hahn then gives it away. And on this side is Carnell Chambers, and that's a push against Darian Furlong, who goes down, and Ware get themselves a free kick. Looking and seeing how Hertford Town and Welwyn Garden City are doing at half-time, both away from home, Aylesbury United and at Kidlington, respectively. And also seeing what else is happening in Southern League Division 1 Central. As the referee looks at his watch again, it goes over Joe Dearman's head, and the highest one of the afternoon from Declan Peart, and almost launches it into orbit. As on the far side, Dan West will actually keep it in under challenge from David Soter. Rather a loose ball out, but once again Linton Goss has got it, and Declan Peart on the halfway line via Jamal Branca brings in the dangerous Linton Goss again. Got Joe Dearman in front of him, and Joe just sticks a toe out, manages to put the ball out for a throw in, but that's going to be it at the end of a very disappointing half for the home side. It's Ware 0, North Leigh 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you can tell what Paul thinks from that. Just as the whistle goes, he's standing there, just looking out on the pitch with his hands on his hips, and as you said earlier, Pete, I said it's going to be a very interesting chat in that Ware dressing room at half-time. Yeah,
that's a face you don't want to see coming at you in the dressing room, I tell you, at half-time. But that is the half-time score. First one was a penalty, controversial, yes. After 17 minutes, Carnell Chambers scored the penalty. It was Greg Hackett and Jordan Spearman who got themselves involved in the box. And then it was Greg Hackett again, who looked possibly to be offside, who pulled the ball across the box for Linton Goss to roll in his third goal of the season. Ball's having a real go against the referee here. It's a back pass. I don't know what that was all about, and that's a discussion to have later on. But right now, we're into our half-time sequence here on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf. Tell you a little bit about North Leigh, which is in Oxfordshire. It's about 3 miles northeast of Witney, and there's a population of 1,929 according to Wikipedia. If there's a few more or a few less, I apologise, but that's on the Wikipedia page. And the oldest pub in the village was opened in 1871 was the Mason's Arms. And one of the most prominent things that you see in North Leigh is the windmill. It was built in 1833, but it's a windmill with no sails now because the cap of the windmill was removed during the Second World War. It was used as an observation post. They put that back on in the 80s, but forgot to put the sails back. So it's a windmill with no sails. And if you do go to, if you want to go, if you're a ground hopper and you want to go to a lovely setting for a football ground, then go to Eynsham Park and watch North Leigh, because it's in the grounds of Eynsham Hall. And that was used as a maternity hospital for expectant mothers evacuating from London during World War II. And another part of the building was called the Flak Shack by US Army soldiers who were sent there for rest during the Second World War. Then became a police training college, and there's a hotel. You can actually get a very good breakfast according to TripAdvisor. So there you go. And you can't book a room there, evidently, because I just looked up. I wanted to see the price, actually, and went on booking.com. All rooms are booked, so it must be pretty good. There's a Roman villa also there, which date back to the 1st or 2nd century. So plenty of nice countryside as well, and I say a lovely ground there at Eynsham Park. Always be sure of a warm welcome. The football team themselves, of course, were formed in 1908. But had to wait 100 years for their best moments at that stage, which was being promoted into the Southern League. They got promoted in the Southern League South West, and then, of course, in 2022 they went up to Southern League Premier South. But sadly for them, came straight back down again, having finished in 19th place. In fact, 20th place last season, 4 points from safety, a goal difference of minus 36. So, hoping to go straight back up again where they came from, and certainly the way they've showed this season, a bit disappointing at home, but been very good on the road, as we have seen here, and in their win against AFC Dunstable. First win away from home this season. Running a few through other things going on while Simon's looking at the half-time scores. Some other fixtures involving local clubs today, of course. St Margaret's involved in the FA Vase. They're away at Coggleshaw Town. Hart Senior County League, the game between Hartford Heath and Baldock Town Reserves was postponed this morning. Not quite sure why, but that went out on Hartford Heath social media. Heath having a good season so far. Hatfield Town are at home, though. They're playing at Hartford these days. They're against Leverstock Green Development. And Bunting for a trip down to London Lions Development. And things start off in the Senior County League Division 1 for Westmill this afternoon as well. Our friends at Westmill got an away game at Nebworth to start off their campaign in their new league. Good luck to them. In the South Midlands League Division 2, AFC Welling, who have done great guns in their first season, are away to Stony Stratford. And Essex Olympian League Division 2, also Roydon, they're facing Burnham Ramblers Reserves, who were second in the table this morning. I looked at it, the early table. So a bit of a job for Big Mo and the boys from Roydon FC, but we'll keep across, see what's happening to all of those. As I said, our two other local clubs, Hertford Town, who had a decent start to the season, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat, are away at Aylesbury United. And Wellington City, poor start to the league season for Mark Weatherston's team, but good result, of course, last week in the FA Cup away at Romford, who were unbeaten till they faced the Citizens. So Citizens away at Kidlington, which a tough place to go, but one where they would look perhaps to be able to get something from. And if you are listening from the Oxfordshire area, then thanks for your company, and I'm sure you'll be quite happy at the moment at the half-time score here. Ware 0, North Leigh 2. We had good listenership from Oxfordshire for the playoff final, I seem to remember, and the league games actually, because I remember covered North Leigh a couple of times, once at Hertford Town as well. So well known to people there in Oxfordshire. And I think would you mind when you do these in future, you make the sound of the old teleprinter on grandstand? So that just make me feel at home, you know. But thanks to Simon who's compiled these. Suddenly, Division 1 Central, blimey, what about this for half-time score? AFC Dunstable 2, Kings Langley 5. Unbelievable. Aylesbury United 1, Hertford 1, Cordoza with the goal for Hertford Town. Barton Rovers 0, Tame United 2, another good day for Oxfordshire side there. Biggleswade 1, Leighton Town 1, Cirencester 0, Stopfold 1. Going well at Stopfold in their new league. Hadley 0, Bedford Town 1, leaders 1-0 up. Killington 0, Welwyn Garden City 1. In fact, it's now Killington 0, Welwyn Garden City 2. Durnell Winter with the first, Ryan Dougherty with the second. So Mark Weatherstone's team picking up where they left off last week. Good stuff from the citizens. Waltham Abbey 3, Kempston Rovers 0. In the FA Vars, sorry, didn't mention Salisburyworth, did I? Letchworth Garden City Eagles 1, Salisburyworth Town 2. And also good at half-time for St Margaret's-Bury. Goggleshaw Down 0, St Mags 1. In Division 2 of the Essex Olympian League, Burnham Ramblers against Roydon Town. Sorry, you haven't got the score there.
Yeah, no, there's no scores from them. There's no updates from those ones.
I'll tell you what, the one that stands out there, AFC Dunstable 2, Kings Langley 5.
I know.
What a half.
It's absolutely... I mean, cool. Can you imagine having commentated on that in the first half?
Tell you.
You'd need more than
this.
More than that lemon drink. Yeah, I tell you. That sounds like it's been a cracking game so far. And obviously they was involved in that game before with all those goals. And the thing is, you know what will happen in the second half. It'll be a down 0-0 for the second half, wouldn't it?
Yes. Well, that's why when they played North Leigh, actually, didn't it? That was 4-2 at half time. So, 2 league games they played, and there were 6 goals in the first half then, and 7 goals today. So, maybe you just go home at half time at Creasy Park. Don't worry about the second half. So, the Golden Boot, which I will bring you up to date with, Eben Mabona of Hatfield Town seems to be the man that's stopping the Golden Boot. So far this season, he's got 8 goals already in this young season. Hatfield Town flying in the Hart Senior County League. Harry Watson of Bungyford's got 6. Charlie Yearwood of AFC Welling has got 5, as is Kamani Collington of Hatfield Town and Jamie Marshall of Hertford Heath. So they're the 4 runners in the 90 minutes Golden Boot. I suppose we should start the ladies Golden Boot as well, shouldn't we? Yeah, we'll start that once that gets going. And I know the leagues, as we said, they started last week. But yes, I'll definitely keep updated with that. And saying about that, and we did get an invite from Taylor Baxley for the Hertford Town Women's FA Cup game, which is on the 10th of September. We've yet to decide if we can both make it. I don't know if I can, and Pete's obviously Pete's not too sure as well. I need to get the day off work. But thank you, Tyler, for the invite, and good luck for that game. And hopefully, if we can't make that, at least we'll be down there at some stage during the season. Yeah, most definitely look forward to that. And thanks to one ladies who also gave us a similar invite on Instagram. Said, welcome back, boys. You're always welcome to come down here and watch us on a Sunday. So hopefully we'll take you up on that as the season progresses. Talking about that, I mean, the response has been quite amazing, I think, is the word that I will use, that we got in the week from everybody and social media and people stopping us and whatever. It's been tremendous. It really was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Thanks to everyone for your support. It really, really does mean a lot. As Pete says, we've seen us at the game, or I've bumped into people at work and they've said things. Whether it's been on social media, the response and support from everyone is fantastic. And I want to go back to what you were saying about Watton ladies, Pete, because great trip that we had down there before, and I wonder if they've moved pitch, because there was a slight little slope on that pitch, wasn't there, at one end, and Yeah, that'll be a great visit. Thanks to them for the invite, and we'll look forward to getting to a few women's games throughout the season.
Yeah, most definitely. A real down over that pitch. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's a real shame for women's football, isn't it? I don't. We'll talk about the controversy, but what's happened with the Spanish team after, and everybody's on such a high, weren't they, with the World Cup, and then suddenly it kind of all goes a bit pear-shaped.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, most of the attention now, obviously, Spanish women won the World Cup. Congratulations to them. But with what's happened, it seems to have taken it over, and no one's talking about the fact that Spain won the World Cup. And they're talking about this Spanish FA president now instead, and it's a shame for them, and it's a shame for the Spanish women that it's taken all the shine off of their victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the good news was that Nike have decided you can buy a replica Mary Earps goalkeeping jersey in the week, can't you?
You can. For £95.
Oh, what? Didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw something. I'm not sure if it was this morning or last night, but they're selling it. They're only selling it. They're doing England ones, and I think Netherlands, USA, etc., etc. But it's only available through those countries' FAs. And the Mary Earps one is £95. Great decision, well done Nike. You should have done it before, but £95 I think is a bit overpriced.
Yeah, that's a bit steep, isn't it? Really, but there we go. Well, team's about to come out for the second half here. The Ware substitutes: Richard Ennin, Joel Jacobs, Lewis Rose, Matt Walsh, and Bailey Eden.
There does look to be a sixth substitute out there.
Oh, yeah.
as well. Maybe a substitute in about 20 years' time, actually.
Looks like my grandson. It's not him, is it? No, he's a bit smaller than that. Well, you never know. You never know. But certainly, I think Paul not thinking about a change. But if you were to change things at half time, I don't know. It's that midfield really is the area that hasn't given Mitch Hahn or Theo Ofori or even Joe Dearman on the far side too much to feed on so far.
No, they haven't. I mean, you pointed out correctly during the game, didn't you, that they're struggling to get any sort of hold on things in the centre of the park. And as you say, I don't think he'll make any sort of change at half time, but I wouldn't be surprised if after about 60 minutes, 65 minutes, he does change things up a bit. If the first 15 minutes or so of the second half doesn't progress.
Yeah, well, Richard Ennin can certainly play wide. Matt Walsh is a big lad. We were discussing before we came in as to how tall Matt is. We think about 6'5", so certainly he would be someone that perhaps they could change and go a little bit more Route 1 if they put him on as North Leigh team come out. Linton Goss is smiling and laughing. He's a class player and he's very, very difficult to shake off the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good first half, didn't he? And he's one of those players that can change things for a team when needed.
Yeah, a good signing for them. Started off with Berkhamsted, then went to Tame United, and is now at North Leigh. I mean, on the bench for them, Michael Hopkins, very much a defender. They've also got some youngsters on there, young 18-year-old Riley Cotter. They've also got Lewis Thorne, who's 21, who's a full-back. Cian McNally as well is another one of their young players, alongside Danny Lucas, who's another 18-year-old midfielder. So not a lot of experience on the bench for the visitors as the Ware players come out. Doesn't look like anybody's changing anything at half time. Take you through the visitors lineup because they're certainly not changing anything at half time. James Foster is in goal. Jamal Branca is on the right side of the defence. Owen Dorr on the left side. The two central defenders are George Gilmore and Declan Peart. Jack Tutton and Lance Williams and Dan West make up the midfield three. And then up front, Greg Hackett, Linton Goss and the impressive Carnell Chambers. Doesn't look like we're making a change. They've got Fred Burbage in goal. Right back, Jordan Spearman. Two centre-backs, Darian Furlong and Dan Rumans. Left full-back, David Sota. Freddie Moncur and Declan Nishi are the anchors in midfield, with Jack Dreyer playing behind a front three of Mitch Hahn, Joe Dearman and Theo Ofori. Our referee is Stuart Latham, who got a bit of an earful from Paul Horsey as he was going in the dressing room. I know he hasn't a beard. Teams have, but don't think I've locked him in the referee's room.
There'll be an announcement in a minute over the tunnel if anyone's a ref to be able to ref the second half.
Well, he's still not come out. The players want to get on with it, but Mr. Latham and his two assistants are obviously not too bothered. In fact, the tunnel's going back now. I don't think the guy who brings the tunnel out and back is sure what to do, because I don't think the players know what's going on. And the referee hasn't a beard.
Well, I mean, there's a few people waiting to cross over, wanting to get back into the stand. And if the referee's not even opened his dressing room door and on the way out, then let those guys in and let them take their seats ready for the appearance of the ref when he does come out.
Oh, it's 4:05. It's a little bit late. It's got to be said. He's kept them waiting because that's made kind of the traditional 15-minute half time into 20 minutes, I think.
Well, I mean, perhaps the teams need a buzzer in their dressing room rather than the ref having a buzzer in his.
Oh, here he comes. Finally. I wonder if they might have stopped by for a kebab at half time. That's what it was. But,
I think he's got a bit of ketchup on his shirt down there.
I think he has. But, he came out and Paul Halsey followed him. So, the least said about that, the better, I think. We're going to get us underway again anyway. Second half here at Watson Park. They trailed 2-0 against North Leigh. And really looked second best in that opening 45 minutes. Let's see what they can do here. Mitch Hahn is going to get us underway with the ball at his feet on the centre spot, having a word with the referee. And they've got it all to do to get back into this one. Half the level, Welling Garden City 2 up. Ware at the moment are 2 down. That's how the afternoon stands on 90 Minutes Live. Referee checks, and away we go. Second half with Ware kicking from right to left. Freddie Moncur, long ball, looking for Declan Nish, who's been pushed further forward already on this near side. Declan Pett, long ball, looking for Linton Goss, and Darian Furlong, who was shielding his eyes from the sun there, puts the ball all the way back to Freddie Moncur, Fred Burbage rather. And the ball finds its way down the line for a throw-in to Ware. Dan Romans will collect the ball and side-footed along for David Sota, who's very much a right-footed left-back. He's go with his right. The referee's assistant is telling him exactly where he wants that throw-in taken from. There's the throw from David Sota on over the head of Declan Nish, and Joe Dearman can't get hold of it, but Declan Nish does. High ball, Mitch Hahn there, handball away from Declan Burt. The referee lets the game go on. Darian Furlong heads the ball off the back of his head, and David Sota gets it clear towards Theo Ofori. Ofori's ball is a poor one though, picked up by Jamal Branca, and here is Carnell Chambers, and goes in, fouls David Sota, and it's going to be a free kick to Ware, which Freddie Moncur is quickly on the coast to take. Freddie Moncur onto the halfway line for David Sota. Freddie gets it back, looks up, chips the ball forward over the head of Mitch Hahn, and that'll be easy meat for James Foster coming out in his red goalkeeping jersey. Bowls it out to Owen Dorr, the left fullback. Long ball forward, only intercepted by Jordan Spearman. Tutton on the ball for North Leigh, but doesn't get a hold of it, and the ball goes out for a throw-in midway inside the Ware half, which Jordan Spearman, a right fullback, will take. He was involved with Greg Hackett in the penalty decision. It's Dan Rumans, skipper for the afternoon. This near side brings in David Sota. Dan gets the ball back, looks up onto the left foot, forward for Joe Dearman. Joe Dearman brings in David Sota. David Sota's ball from Mitch Hahn. This is better. Mitch's ball far side, looking for the on-running Theo Ofori. Theo will keep it in, away from the corner flag. It's got Owen Dorr in front of him. Theo tries to go round him, and in the end he just pushes the ball on to the knee of the young fullback, and Ware get their sixth corner of the afternoon and their first one of the second half, which Joe Dearman will take on that far side. Darian Furlong and Dan Romans making their way up into the box. Once again, North Leigh have kept Lyndon Goss and Garnell Chambers forward. Here comes the corner from Joe Dearman in towards the near post, easily blocked by Greg Hackett. Dearman will get it back down the line for Mitch Hahn. Chance to cross it with the left foot here. Mitch Hahn drives it across. Comes off of Darian Furlong and goes behind, but Declan Peart, I think, got the last touch. Ware get themselves another corner. Mitch Hahn spots the ball down. Joe Dearman's in attendance. Don't think it's going to be a short one. And Mitch drives it across the box. Declan Nish gets his head to it. But in the end, Lance Williams went up with him, and Williams must have got a touch because Ware get another corner. So 3 very quick corners at the beginning of this second half here. Ware need it. They trail here by 2-0. Dearman's corner on the near side. A high one to the far post. Dan Romans gets up. Here's Mitch Hahn. Brings the ball down. Dan Romans on the edge of the area. Puts it back into the danger area. Out by Lyndon Goss. And this could be dangerous for Ware as Branca breaks. Long ball forward. But Garnell Chambers won't come on the end of that. And Fred Burbidge will collect it quite comfortably. And bowling out to David Sota on this near side. Decent pressure from Ware at the beginning of the second half. Sota in bright sunshine, almost the other 4 seasons in one day we've had here. Pouring rain, thunder, kebab smoke, and now bright sunshine. There's Joe Dearman, left hand side, fires it across when perhaps he just could have taken a bit more time about it. There were bodies arriving in the box. Mitch Hahn and Jack Dreyer were 2 of them, but you can see once again Paul Wolsey turns around with that familiar putting his 2 hands up and shaking his head and just having a word with Joe Dearman and just basically saying, take your time, son, because he just, once again, rather than Declan Nish in the first half of that shot, he just snatched at it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. I mean, I think maybe he needs to sort of, as you say, take a little bit of time, have a look who's over there, who's maybe making that run in, and just make a little bit of a better decision.
James Foster with a goal kick will land midway inside the Ware half and go out for a throw-in to the home side, which David Sota once more will take in front of the North Leigh bench, which has Michael Hopkins in charge. James Keller not here this afternoon. Might be listening to us. Be happy if he is so far. As the ball goes out of play again, this time Ware have advanced to midway inside the North Leigh half. David Sota will take the throw in once more. But, crowd taking a bit of a time to get the ball back to him. He gets it now. Freddie Moncur comes short, but the ball lands with Mitch Hahn on the edge of the area. Branca manages to get a boot in, and Lyndon Goss will pick it up. One Greg Hackett, they're outnumbered at the moment. Goss far side. Spearman the defender. Goss in a race against Jordan Spearman on that far side. Spearman keeps up with him, but Goss keeps the ball. Manages to keep it in as well. The cross will come in. Up goes Garnell Chambers and doesn't really get much on it. Joe Dearman keeps it in. And in the end, it's Jack Tutton who thumps it away towards the building of Wadson Park Sports Centre. Another ball arrives and we'll give a throw in. Said 4 seasons in one day, just seeing what's coming over there on the right hand side. It is black as anything. The rugby behind the goal away to our right hand side. As Declan Peart will prepare to take the throw in here. Inside the 6-yard box, back header which comes in from Dan West, but straight into the arms of Freddie Burbidge. Good throw out by the goalkeeper, finds Theo Afori going across the halfway line, right hand side of the field. Jack Dreyer's up there as well, but that's a poor ball. It was a good break on there, but Theo's ball was a poor one. Puts his hand up in acknowledgement. Jack Dreyer had made the burst forward. But first sign of substitutes warming up. Richard Ennin warming up down that left hand side for Ware. Would be an attacking player to bring on, of course. Could well perhaps fit in down the right hand side, push Theo Afori up and go for 2 up top perhaps. As kick forward onto the halfway line. Declan Nish goes up with Lance Williams, who just volleys it away, but Linton Goss will be the first to react down by the left-hand side corner flag. Goss plays the ball back to Greg Hackett. It's Carnell Chambers. Linton Goss again has to go backwards midway inside the Ware half to Owen Dorr. Owen Dorr's cross over the head of everybody, and Joe Dearman should keep it in on this near side. In fact, he lets the ball run for a throw in to Ware. Taken quickly, David Sota to Joe Dearman. Short for Freddie Moncur. Presses on from North Leigh. David Sota does well. Turn away from Lance Williams. Finds Joe Dearman. Dearman, though, has to go backwards again. And in the end, when Ware with themselves a throw in. Dan Rumans has it. Looks up onto the trusty left boot and begs out Theo Afori on that far side. 10 yards inside the North Leigh half. Turns inside Greg Hackett. Afori, far side of the field, again for Jordan Spearman. Tries to roll it across the box. He does. Mitch Hahn. Oh, he stopped the ball for Jack Dreyer. But Dreyer couldn't get the shot in. And North Leigh will get it clear with Owen Dorr. Once more, just a few signs the home side might be beginning to get their act together here. Declan Niche for Darian Furlong. For skipper for the day, Dan Rumans. Rumans finds David Sota. Sota onto the halfway line for Declan Nishi. Turns but has to go back inside his own half for his skipper Dan Rumans. Dan's ball forward for Jack Dreyer. Jack Dreyer once again back to Dan Rumans. Patient build-up. North Leigh have got players behind the ball. As the ball down the line looks for David Sota, has been put out of play, and that's cheap from Declan Niche. And another little look down from Paul Horsey. Not what the manager wanted. Jamal Branca will take the throw in for North Leigh with almost 10 minutes to the second half here. They lead 2-0 at Watson Park. 90 minutes live in association with Easy Shelf. Our first Southern League Division 1 central commentary of the season. Number 2 will come hot in the hills Monday. Join us from 2:55 at Ardingford Berry Park. Hertford against Ware, East Herts derby, always a little bit special. Long one forward, which is headed forward by Darian Furlong. Jack Dreyer can't get under it. Williams can't really control it, and on the end, Greg Hackett will try and keep it in, but is beaten by Theo Afori. Afori forward for Mitch Hahn. Good first touch. Far side brings in Freddie Moncur. Better possession from Ware, but need to get it near that penalty area. Darian Furlong brings in Dan Romans. Dan turns away from David Sota on this near side. Finds Darian Furlong again. Jordan Spearman's got a bit of space on that right hand side. Closed down by Greg Hackett. And the ball forward in the end goes off Lance Williams and will be a throw in to Ware on that far side of the field, parallel to the edge of the 18-yard area. And I think we know what's coming. As Darian Furlong, in fact, she takes it short of Freddie Moncur. Freddie plays the ball for Dan Rumans in a bit of space. Might try the shot, does, but high and well over the top from Dan Rumans. Again, once again, he had more time. We're rushing things at the moment. They're 2-0 down, but only 10 minutes gone of this second half. So we've got plenty of time to get back into this one. Always have been known, and certainly were a couple of seasons ago, as the team that left it late. They've managed to get back into games when they were behind. Full complement of subs are warming up now. Down by the corner flag. I think changes could be imminent for the home side. Kick forward by Foster onto the head of Darian Furlong. Good header. Mitch Hahn gets there ahead of Tutton, and the ball will break for Theo Afori on that far side. But Theo's ball in the end, well, it bounced off Lance Williams. And the ball's kept in with Hackett's header, and Darian Furlong does well to get there ahead of Linton Goss, and the ball goes out for a throw-in to North Leigh. Owen Dorr is the man who will take the throw-in onto the halfway line, and the head of Jordan Spearman up in the air by Lance Williams. David Sota will head it forward. Joe Dearman won't get there ahead of Jamal Branca. David Sota's in a run here with Carnell Chambers. Chambers looks to go inside, looks to go outside. Joe Dearman's come back to help, but Dan West has got plenty of space. Here's Carnell Chambers. Pulls the ball across the area, but too high for Greg Hackett, who was coming in, and goes out for a throw-in to Ware on that far side. Seems to have avoided that black cloud. It's gone rather round us rather than over us, which is good to see. 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf, our new sponsors. Thank them very much, of course. If you're after shelves or refrigeration equipment or shop fitting, then there you people. And Mitch Hahn tries to collect the ball, but in the end, well, Declan Peart goes down. The referee says it's a foul, as Theo Ofori was chasing through with Jamal Branca. And free kick to North Leigh. Declan Peart stayed down just a little bit on his haunches, but he's back up now. Free kick to the visitors inside the centre circle. Rolled to the left-hand side by Lance Williams. Referee not happy with where the kick was taken from. So they're going to have to do it again. Oh, you're adding the time on, refs, as a man in the stand here. Let's see, probably had 3 minutes added on the first half, which was fairly reasonable for stoppages that we did have. Declan Peart then with a free kick. Long kick forward. It's going to go over the head of Dan West, over the head of David Sota, and out for a throw in for Ware down by this near side corner flag. David Sota has to leap over the fence and then back again to collect the ball. We'll take the throw in. Once again, this high press on from North Leigh, which Ware found difficult to get beyond. Joe Dearman sticks a boot out near as far as down west on this near side. Wow, Carnell Chambers did keep it in. It's a little bit debatable. Jack Dray gets a boot in, but then only put the ball out for once again another throw in to North Leigh to be taken right in front of us here at commentary position, just about 5 metres inside the half, being defended by Ware and Freddie Burbage, and I think the referee's had enough of Paul Wolsey here. This could be interesting. Paul's put his hands to his head. The referee's assistant's here as well, and the referee and the referee's assistant both having a word with the Ware boss. Paul is protesting his case, and I think the referee's saying one more of those and there's going to be guards coming out, because there's been new directives, isn't there, to officials about booking managers and people on the bench.
Yeah, that's it. It's like I said last week. It's going to be interesting as to to see how the different referees implement this. And now I think it's something here. Yellow card for time wasting.
Well, I think he's going to get the other bench having a go at him this time. Jamal Branca is going to get I think it's called a Tomiyasu now in the trade, isn't it? Sort of, about 8 seconds with the ball and you get a yellow card. I've got some sympathy. Jamal Branca is smiling, but I think he's very hard done by there. But he's got a yellow card from the referee. Michael Hopkins can't believe it. Neither can the North Leigh bench, and neither can we, to be honest. But in the end, he takes the throw down the line for Linton Goss, who gets it across the box, but only at the feet of Darian Furlong. So, some strange decisions from our referee, Mr. Latham, this afternoon, it must be said.
Well, I mean, you said at the start of the game about the amount of cards that he dished out in Hartford's game, so maybe it's he's set a precedence there, and that's just the way he referees with these new rules.
Well, it's 4 so far this afternoon to add to the 9, which came. Oh my word, there was certainly an elbow went in there from Dan West on Declan Leigh. Fair play to Declan, he didn't make anything of it, but it certainly was a dangerous challenge. The referee once again has now told Freddie Moncur he wants the kick taken from further back. Likes that whistle, doesn't he? He definitely likes that whistle. So he's now having a little bit of a word with Lance Williams, who is involved in that decision and doesn't give a card, and yet he gives a yellow card to Jamal Branca for holding the ball too long, and not to Jamal Williams for an elbow. Lance Williams rather. And the referee once again stops the game. He's not happy with where Freddie Moncur took the kick from. Finally we're going to get underway here. Darian Furlong puts it towards the box. Foster on the leap goes up. It's a little bit of a touch from Dan Rumans as he went down. referee once again. It's North Leigh now protesting to our referee, Mr. Latham.
I think he's trying to play some sort of tune on that whistle, the amount of time he's blowing, isn't he?
Well, yeah. This afternoon, Matthew, I'm going to... No, we won't even go there. This time the goalkeeper with trouble is James Foster, who's slow to get up. This is actually, it's got to be said to the visitors, because Ware were beginning to get a little bit of momentum going, and the stop-start nature of the last 5 minutes has not helped the home side at all in this one. Foster's back up, which is good to see, and we'll restart the game from the edge of the area. Hope the referee's happy with where he's put that. Yeah, he looks so. So James Foster from the goal away to our left-hand side for North Leigh. Long kick forward onto the head of Darian Furlong. Has missed a lot in the air this afternoon as the number 5. There he is again, heading it forward. Lance Williams onto the halfway line for Greg Hackett. Dan West back for Tooten rather. Jack Tooten, but he's all the way to Fred Burbage. Here's Dan Rumans. David Sota, still inside his own half, turns away from Parnell Chambers and does well, but in the end it's George Gilmore who'll pick it up, and meanwhile Declan Pert goes down under challenge from Mitch Hahn, and as we said, just go and get a bit tetchy, or a little bit of smiling between the two of them, which is nice to see. Freddie Moncur quickly away from the advancing Lance Williams. Long ball by Dan Rumans. Mitch Hahn will take it away from Declan Pert. He's having to go back towards our halfway line. Looks up, looks for some movement. He's not getting a lot. But finds David Sota on this near side. This time it's North Leigh thought the ball went out. That's 1-1, says Paul Halsey down to the bench. At least a nice relationship with the two of them there. Michael Hopkins smiles. Joe Dearman comes forward. Jamal Branca gets it back to Declan Pearce. Header on the halfway line from Dan Rumans. Put back inside the centre circle for Declan Nish, and he's robbed of the ball by Linton Goss. Ware could be in trouble again here. The ball on the far side for Hackett. They're getting into the box. Chambers and Dan West are in the box. Challenge comes in from Jordan Spearman. And North Leigh get their third corner of the afternoon, and we just can't afford that because North Leigh looks so dangerous on the break.
Yeah, they have been. As you said before, they've got this high press, and they're really causing some dangers for the Ware back line, and it's something that they need to get a hold of. And I just wonder, how long it's going to be before Paul makes any sort of change, because I think they need a different output. 20
minutes gone in the second half. Corner comes across. Declan Pert with it. Oh, that is a great save by Fred Burbage. And again, it was the first save from Dan West, and the second one, a save with his boot as the shot came in. And, North Leigh within inches of really putting this one to bed, you would think. It's George Gilmore who's still got his hand on his head. That was super save from Fred Burbage, has kept Ware in the game. North Leigh have got another corner. Be taken by Owen Dorr on that far side. Chips it, looking this time for Lance Williams with another header, but he puts it over the top. And Ware have just not got to grips at all with the dead ball situations that North Leigh have produced. Fred Burbage bowls it out to Darian Furlong. Jordan Spearman, far side. Darian gets it back on the edge of his 18-yard box forward for Declan Nishi. Jordan Spearman forward, and again the press does the job as Ware can't get themselves forward. Pensive look from Paul Halsey, Ryan Wade and Kevin Goon inside the technical area. Still no sign of any changes at the moment. As far side throw from Owen Dorr. Spearman goes up, manages to get there first, but he's shepherded off the ball by Dan West. West ball on this near side for Carnell Chambers. Brings it down. It's up against David Sota and Joe Dearman. Joe does well, gets a boot in and robs him of the ball. Down the line, looking for Mitch Hahn, but they're going to be the first to react. Jamal Branca can't turn away from Joe Dearman, and Ware have to throw in. Joe's ball looking for Declan Nish, who's under pressure immediately. threads it through the legs of Greg Hackett and gets a round of applause from the crowd for doing so. And Ware have it with Theo Ofori on that far side. Theo's ball inside the box. He can't find Jack Dreyer because George Gilmore's there to punt it out on that far side for a throw-in to Ware, which I'm sure Darian Furlong will feel like mating. Matt Walsh has come back towards the bench and picked his shirt up. I think that's going to be one change. Matt Walsh is going to make his debut as Darian Furlong will take the throw-in on that far side. Could do with Matt Walsh out for this one because he's 6'5". But, Darian Furlong's throw onto the head. Oh, well taken in by Joe Dearman. Onto the head of Dan Rumans, who got the flick. Goalkeeper got a touch. And Joe Dearman puts it in and gives Ware a lifeline with 22 minutes of the second half gone. Game back on at Watson Park. Ware 1, North Leigh 2.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that we're needed. We've still got plenty of time left in this game for them to get another one. As you said, they made a habit a couple of years or so ago of coming back into the games late. And they've still got time for this. You said before that Ware had the upper hand before the referee was doing all those stoppages, and that goal I'm sure will give them confidence, and it's given them a chance way back into the game.
Well, Joe Dearman opens his account for the season, and we're right back in the game, but got to keep their concentration. Last week, of course, against AFC Dunstable, when they scored, they almost went immediately back level. But here's Theo Ofori now, down by the right-hand touchline. Owen Dorr is the defender. Theo turns outside him, goes inside the box. It's Mitch Hahn. Oh, it was Declan Baird who just got a boot in there. As Mitch looked to be teeing up the shot. Game's getting stretched here. Greg Hackett, ball back to Owen Dorr. Hackett again does well, turns away from Freddie Moncur and starts going down that left-hand touchline. Inside for Dan West. Here's Hackett again. This time he is definitely offside. And linesman's flag goes up. And Ware will get themselves a free kick. I just wonder whether they've changed their mind on that substitution now.
Well, it gives Paul something to think about, doesn't it? As you said, Matt looks to have sat back down on the bench, I think. So maybe he's not going to make that substitution as immediate as he was going to.
Darian Furlong's going to take a throw for Ware, midway inside his own. In fact, he's going to bowl the ball back to Fred Burbidge. Fred then returns the compliment. Darian's midway inside his own half, right hand side of the field. Long, lofted ball forward, which Jamal Branca will get under. Doesn't make too convincing a job of clearing it, though. Where we'll get a throw in by their own dugout. David Sota, taken quickly by Joe Dearman. Sota will get it back. Freddie Moncur, put under pressure by Dan West. Turns back to Dan Rumans. Rumans long ball forward, headed out by Declan Peart. Onto the chest of Dan West. Freddie Moncur does well to get there quickly. Jamal Branca just thumps it into Ware territory. And Freddie Burbidge will come out and collect it. 20 minutes remain here at Watson Park. Ware 1, North Leigh 2. Both North Leigh goals coming before half-time. Penalty from Garnell Chambers, and then 1/3 of the season for Linton Goss. But Joe Dearman has made a much better game of it with his goal just a couple of minutes ago for Ware. Is Linton Goss. A good challenge by Darian Furlong. Linton Goss felt it, but there's no doubt Darian Furlong got the ball. Linton Goss has stayed down as Greg Hackett comes forward across the box for North Leigh. Linton Goss still down. Jamal Branca on this near side will put the ball out of play as Linton Goss has stayed down, and we'll start the debate again. The referee didn't stop it. It wasn't a head injury, so why are we putting the ball out of play?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I don't know. You don't always know, how badly these guys are hurt, but immediately the trainers come on and he's turned out and he's set up and he looks absolutely fine. So this is one of the things that really does bug me in the game. That as soon as the game gets stopped, all of a sudden they're set up and get into their feet sometimes, and it's just a little bit wrong for me.
Yeah, I kind of worry about saying it, but these guys pick it up from Premiership football and league football as well. They tend to do it at international level. It's got no real place in non-league football for me, but Linton Goss still getting a little bit of treatment from John McDonough, the physio for North Leigh, at his first outing onto the pitch. Linton Goss is going to be fine, so quite why we stopped the game, I've got no idea. What should really happen now is Jamal Branca put that ball out, so Ware should just take a throw in from there.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Is that what's going to happen, or are we going to have the ridiculous it back to them and all of this stuff?
It was their choice to put the ball out, so I would say just take it as a normal throw.
I think Joe Dearman's got the ball. He's a bit unsure now. Should I give it back to them? What should I do? And it's just should not happen, should it? He throws it back to Jamal Branca in the North Leigh half, which, remember many years ago at Highbury, Arsenal played a FA Cup game against Sheffield United, and Kanu took a throw-in, and Arsenal scored the winner from the throw-in, and Arsene Wenger made them replay the game. I remember that.
I remember that very well, yes.
Yes. I remember it well because I interviewed him after the game, which was...
Kanu or Arsene Wenger?
Arsene Wenger, yeah. Yeah, and he was very sort of, well, this is what we've got to do. This is what's right. So, man of principle has... headed in the air by Dan Romans, and Matt Walsh is about to make an appearance now as he's got his shirt on. So Jordan Spearman hits the ball off of Lance Williams, the North Leigh skipper.
It looks like Kevin's going to be on more duties as he's got the ball ready. He's so talented, that guy.
He is.
Like we said, he can just do anything.
Right, if my pen runs out mid-game, I know who to call. He's your man. Freddie Moncur picks it up. Matt Walsh is about to come on for Ware. They trail here by 2-1 as Dan Rumans picks out Joe Dearman midway inside the North Leigh half. Got David Sota making the overlap. Jamal Branca gets a challenge in, cannons back off of Joe Dearman and goes out for a throw-in. Substitution now? No, Matt Walsh is still pacing up and down and waiting. Former Walthamstow striker, of course. Ball forwards. Dan Romans has got that away from Linton Goss. Declan Nish goes up and does well control the ball first time. Tries to get him wrestled off of it by Dan West. Referee not interested in the free kick, and Linton Goss will put it back on the halfway line for Jamal Branca. Jamal Branca slips up. Jack Tutton then manages somewhat fortuitously to control it, puts it back into his own half for George Gilmore. On the far side brings in Greg Hackett, can't keep it in. Surely they're going to make the change now, aren't they? And ball out far side. No, still not going to make the change. Throw taken to Freddie Moncur. So Darion Furlong forward for Theo Ofori. Theo Ofori turns away from the attentions of the North Leigh skipper Lance Williams. Brings in David Sota. Jack Dreyer for David Sota again. He's bundled over by Lance Williams. Free kick to Ware. He's going to be on the halfway line. Surely I want to bring Matt Walsh on now. He's 6'5". His Dan Rumans is going up. Darian Furlong is going up as well. Really surprised they're not making the change now. Oh, in fact, or are they? Yeah. Kevin's coming, I think, to the halfway line, and he is going to make that change. No, he's not going to make it. It's Joe Dearman's kick. Oh, it's the goalkeeper coming and going, and in the end, he's hurdled by Dan Romans. And James Foster looked a little bit unsure then whether they'd come or go, but he did come and finally collected it, and Dan did the decent job. Maybe good at Budapest in the World Championships at hurdling like that. There's ball forward on that far side. Carnell Chambers picks it up. North Leigh getting players in the box. Dan West and Linton Goss are two of them, but Greg Hackett's control lets him down. The ball will break to Owen Dora on the halfway line, gives it away to Declan Nish, can't make much of it, and the ball will go out, and now we are going to get the substitution with 14 minutes left, and it's going to be Jack Dreyer who's going to come off, and it's going to be Matt Walsh who is going to come on. Jack Dreyer getting a round of applause from the Ware supporters. Still feeling his way back into the game, really. Been out injured pre-season. So Matt Walsh is going to go right up top. It's going to be interesting what they're going to do. North Leigh are going to make a change here as well. Riley Cotter is about to come on, and it's going to be Garnell Chambers hadn't figured so much in the second half. Had a very good first half, did Carnell Chambers. He comes on, 18-year-old Riley Cotter, who's a midfield player, will come on. He's like one of those players, you'd think he needs permission for his mum to come on, don't you? He's the diminutive fella, to say the least. One ball forward is Theo Afori. Matt Walsh making his way into the area. As Declan Nish tries to bring in Freddie Moncur. Mitch Harm will pick it up, try the shots! Ooh, wide of the target, but worth the drive from Mitch. Goalkeeper, I don't think, would have gone near it. But goes wide. Chance goes begging, 13 minutes left. Plus time added on for stoppages between Ware and their first defeat in only their second league game in this season, of course.
I mean, I think some of them stoppages, a lot of them, if they added on to in this half, are going to be down to the ref.
Add on stoppages for his own stoppages as Freddie Moncur takes the ball away from Riley Cotter. Ball given away then by the goal scorer Joe Dearman. Here's Linton Goss. Linton Goss got David Soter as well to get a boot in there. Matt Walsh can't get it, and Tutton's got the ball. There's Riley Cotter. And chipped down this line by Dan West. Was that in or was it out? Well, just curled in, and Dan Romans has to take evasive action and push the ball out for a throw-in, which Declan Peart will come and take. It's very much the both number 5s have got a very good long throw on them. Ware have kept 2 forward, Matt Walsh and Theo Afori. Mitch Harnett is dropped into the number 10 role since substitution. Here comes the throw, and it's going to be Freddie Moncur who will get it clear. Via Joe Dearman, it's from Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh can't control it. It's thumped forward by Owen Dora onto the head of Jordan Spearman. Freddie Moncur, first to react. He's had his usual all-action game in midfield. Long ball forward. Peart returns it with compliment. Roll brought down by David Soter. Finds Joe Dearman. Joe Dearman back for David Soter midway inside his own half. Back for his skipper Dan Romans. Jordan Spearman screaming for the ball on the far side. Freddie Moncur goes via Darian Furlong though. Still inside the Ware half here. We've got 11 minutes left. Need to hurry it up a bit. Dan Romans, long ball looking for Theo Afori, brings it down right hand side of the area. Theo goes inside, tries a shot, good block coming in the end. And it's all the way back to Declan Nish. It was Dan West who got the block in, and Jordan Spearman lets the ball go under his foot, and it goes out for a goal kick to North Leigh. So certainly it's been a better looking Ware in the second half, but still you've got to create the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. They have had more chances. They've created more. They've worked harder for it as well. And it's no good just doing that for 45 minutes of the game. No, you need to do it for the full 90 if you want to take the 3 points at the end of the day.
Well, still got time. 10 minutes left, plus time added on for the referees. Time added on as James Foster will take the goal kick. Lands inside the Ware half, ahead of Darian Furlong. I've got to say, I've been impressed with him in the air this afternoon. He's not missed a lot at all as the number 5. Bit of a selection problem, I think, for Wolsey, although we have seen in the Hearts Charity Cup game, he had a storming game just in front of a back 3, which is something that I'm sure Paul Halsey has got in his locker. As ball's given away by Freddie Moncur. Rare occurrence, and on that far side Linton Goss can't keep it in, which is an equally rare occurrence. Throw to be taken here by Darian Furlong. Cross field for Dan Romans. Joe Dearman's got a bit of space as Cotter comes to try and cover the run of David Soter. Joe Dearman's being pushed back by Jamal Brankley, who's had a solid game at right back for North Leigh. Here's Darian Furlong again. Brings in Declan Nish, who's come short. Looks up. Can't find a lot of movements. Got some from Theo Afori now, but Owen Dorr gets there with his head and finds Greg Hackett. Hackett up in the air. Dorr will volley it forward. Freddie Moncur can't control it. Here comes Lance Williams. North Leigh on the break again. 3 forward. Linton Goss is one of them on this near side. Riley Cotter in the box. Linton Goss against David Soter. Here is young Riley Cotter. Back for Linton Goss. Dan West made his way up now to the edge of the area, but they're quite happy to keep the possession. With 8 minutes left, they lead here by 2-1. Greg Agnett's got it far side. Chips the ball down the line for the on-running Jack Tutton. Surely it's a bit early for the corner flag fly, isn't it? And Declan Nish in the end sorts it out. And Ware will get themselves a throw in. Darian Furlong will take that throw. Lewis Rose goes for a little jog down the touchline. No sign though of another change so far from Ware. Dan Rumans near side for David Soto. Ooh, poor touch, but just manages to get it back from Linton Goss. Dan Rumans again chips the ball forward into the channel. Mitch Hard isn't there. Well controlled by Lance Williams. Talking of solid games, he's had one. Finds Dan West. Dan West will try the shot, will he? No, he'll bring in Linton Goss, right hand side of the box. Plenty in the box here for the visitors. And one of them is Dan West, who steals in to score Northlee's third goal of the afternoon and surely put the 3 points on their way back to Oxfordshire. Ware 1, Northleigh 3.
I mean, Paul will be devastated by that goal. And if the ball's put in, he's got absolutely acres of space. Nobody's picked him up, and he's just about managed to slot it beyond Fred Burbage to give the visitors a 3-1 lead.
Well, there was a patient build-up, but in the end, as Dan West looks up to the sky, it was a perfect finish. Experienced striker. And once again, Linton Goss doing the damage as the ball was pulled across the box, and now is Dan West to put it in for a North Leigh side who, well, you've got to say they've deserved it. They've weathered a little bit of a second half storm. They were the better team in the first half, and looking at this team with the experience, mixture of youth, they're going to be there or thereabouts this season again, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's no reason why not. I mean, we said before we started the commentary a couple of years ago when we saw them, that there was a lot of draws and a lot of 0-0 games for them, but they certainly have no problem finding the net so far this season. Yeah,
this team have got goals in them, most definitely. I mean, that's 10 already in the league. As Fred Burbage goes out to collect the ball away from the number 10, Dan West, who scored the third goal. That was his fourth of the season, so good start to the season for him. As Freddie Moncur looks up and puts the ball forward to Mitch Hahn, who just about controls it. And Theo Vafori's got it on that far side now. Theo, Greg Aggett closes down the space, brings him down. Ware will have a free kick with 5 minutes remaining. Need to get on with it, need to get it in the box if they're going to have a grandstand finish. Richard Ennis is about to come on. Richard Hennin, rather, is about to come on for Ware, wearing number 12. Got a feeling they'll go 3 at the back. I'm not quite sure it will come off, but I think it might well be David Soter. It'll be a defender anyway. As they wait for the free kick, which Joe Demon's got on the far side. Yeah, it's actually going to be Jordan Spearman. I thought it would be a defender. So Jordan Spearman comes off. Ware will go 3 at the back. And Richard Hennin will go down the left-hand side, I've got the feeling, with Joe Dearman perhaps switch to the right. Here comes Jordan Spearman. We'll have a look. Richard Hennin's coming across anyway towards the box. Joe Dearman will take the free kick. Richard Hennin goes into the box. Ball comes across the box, headed well out by Lance Williams. Jamal Branca will complete the clearance. Linton Goss against David Soter. And on the far side, screaming for the ball, was young Riley Cotter, but in the end it was a good job by Freddie Moncur. Mopped up, and Ware will get it back inside the centre circle. Dan Rumans heads it forward, but there's nobody there. And George Gilmore can turn it back quite comfortably to his goalkeeper James Foster. 4 minutes remain here at Watson Park. What kind of a day are we going to have on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf? Well, we'll tell you at the end of this one. Hartford were level. Welling Garden City were 2 up. With Darnell Winter, and as the ball bounces on the edge of the elbow to the head of Fred Burbage. And Ryan Doherty, the goals for Mark Weatherstone's side. But here at Watson Park, it's going to be disappointment for the locals. They trail here 3-1. in the dying seconds of this one. Long kick forward by Freddie Burbage. Really sums up Ware's disappointing afternoon, I think. The ball just goes out midway inside the North Leigh half. They're about to make another change. As the board goes up, it's going to be Greg Hackett who's going to come off. And it's going to be the number 12, Danny Lucas, who's going to go on.
Now, there's something we haven't seen for a while, Pete. You know, he's coming over. Greg Hackett's started to make his way over this side of the pitch to make the substitution. And the ref's blown his whistle because he likes blowing his whistle. And he's told him, no, you go off the other side. Now, we know these rules came in a couple of seasons ago, and they don't seem to have been followed through after that. For the first few months they were, but then it seemed to get dropped, and this referee has picked up on that and told him to leave that side of the pitch. So I'll give him credit for that one.
I'll tell you, he's waited until 3 minutes to the end to get a bit of credit, but he gets it, most definitely, for that. As Owen Dowd punts the ball out. Cotter goes up, tries to beat Joe Dearman. Joe will bring it down, has to play it back to David Sota, who gets it away from Linton Goss and brings in Dan Rumans. They have indeed gone 3 at the back, by the way. Darian Furlong on the right, Dan Rumans in the middle, David Sota on the left. Declan Nish is pulled into that place in front of the back 3, which has allowed Richard Ennis to go on the right, Joe Dearman on the left, and Matt Walsh up front. As Declan Nish picks the ball up again, here's Mitch Hahn. Finds Joe Dearman, left-hand side. Looks to go down the line for Freddie Moncur. Surrounded by yellow shirts. Does well to keep it in. It's Joe Dearman inside the area. First touch wasn't so solid, and in the end, good play by Lance Williams, who just pushes the ball off of Theo Ofori and frustrates Ware even more as the ball goes behind for a goal kick, which I'm sure James Foster will take his time about. We're into the last minute of Watson Park on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf. And it looks like it's going to be a happy journey back to Oxfordshire for North Leigh. As the goal kick comes from the goalkeeper James Foster, who, to be honest, hasn't had that much to do really as a visiting goalkeeper. I think Fred Burbage has called off the save of the day. Ware would have hoped to have put North Leigh under more pressure, which they haven't done. But, got a chance to put it right quickly, of course. Monday we'll be there, heading for Bury Park, East Hearts Derby. Hertford's out against Ware. Ware have had the upper hand over the past few seasons, but Hertford's young side need a decent start to this campaign. Ball forward, looking for Mitch Hahn, brings it down nicely on his chest. Forward for Theo Ofori in the area. Theo turns around, 1 down 2. The ball ricochets off the goalkeeper, and in the end, it's Williams who gets it clear to Linton Goss inside the centre circle. Controls it well, and steaming up on that far side is the substitute, Danny Lucas. Can't get hold of the ball though. Ware have got it back with Freddie Moncur as we enter time added on for stoppages, and Lance Williams just thumps the ball over the stand that we're sitting in. Ware will take the throw in quickly via Joe Dearman. David Sota finds Joe Dearman again. Can't play too much football now. They need to get in near the box. It's Dan Rumans. Forward for Joe Dearman again. Joe Dearman looks to turn inside to Dan West, who brings him down. Ware have got themselves a free kick. Ball's then kicked away, and again, that's one that referees have been told about in terms of yellow cards. Riley Cotter and Mitch Howard having a little bit of a word. I said this about Mitch last week, didn't I? I don't want to be unkind, he could be Riley's dad, but still having a little bit of verbal to and fro, and that's a poor free kick from Freddie Moncur. Easy to head it out for Jack Tutton. And the ball will land with the goalkeeper, James Foster, who will dribble it out to the edge of his area. Mount Walsh, who's, be fair to him, not really had a chance to get into the game at all on his Ware debut off the subs bench. And minute played over the top already. Kick forward is a long one. Darian Furlong collects it in the air. Richard Ennis, who has no chance to get involved in the game at all, tries to collect the ball, but North Leigh will get a throw in. Far side of the field. I think Declan Peart will be coming up for this one. They're in no hurry whatsoever to take it. And why should they be? Lead here by 3-1. I think they were about to make another substitution, but decided against that. There's throwing to be taken on that far side. They are down by the corner flag now. Danny Lucas is the player. Didn't get the throw though. Ware have got it. Richard Ennin leaves it for Darian Furlong, who will hoist it towards the halfway line, you would feel, although Northley now do want to make the substitution. It's Michael Hopkins, the boss, who's about to come on, or boss for the day. He comes on. It's going to be Jack Tutton who's going to go off. Now he's halfway, so actually he was still nearer the far side touchline than he was this one, but maybe the referee didn't have his tape measure out for that one.
I think we can let him off for that one.
It was close. Jack Tutton comes off. Another player, well, they've all had a solid game really. Big smile from him as Michael Hopkins comes on. It's a bit of insult to injury, I suppose, the player who won in that playoff final coming on with Northley 3-1 up as well. But, Darian Furlong will take the throw in onto the halfway line. Declan Niche over his head, and nobody in front of him. Volleyed clear by George Gilmore as Furlong goes down. A high boot by Linton Goss. Ware have got it back. Here's David Sota. Comes across the halfway line. Plenty in front of him. Goes square though for Mitch Hahn. Freddie Moncur's in space. Mitch has to go back into his own half for Dan Romans. Once again, Ware delay it. There's no momentum here. Darian Furlong forward on that far side. Richard Ennin, first chance to run with the ball. He goes back inside the centre circle. You think Ware were 3-1 up here. Not 3-1 down. Dan Romans forward on the head of Michael Hopkins. It's Mitch Hahn, edge of the area. The ball will break though, and Declan Peart gets it away to the halfway line, where Dan Romans will just volley it up in the air into the Northley half. Up goes David Sota. Can't get hold of it. It's Freddie Moncur, who's pushed to the ground by Lance Williams. Surely a foul, that one. Referee doesn't give it. He's played 4 minutes over the top so far as our referee, Stuart Latham.
I mean, Pete, I wonder if I'll just let you describe this action.
Matt Walsh gets his head to the ball. Ware have got it with Mitch Hahn on the edge of the area. Once more the yellow shirts come round him though, and they'll break forward here. Riley Cotter on the left hand side, Lyndon Goss, but didn't look too hurried about trying to create an opportunity. He was more interested in going for that far side touchline as Lyndon Goss plays it all the way back to Lance Williams. And you were saying something.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, I wonder. Michael Hopkins. He's the boss for the day. I wonder if he's on an appearance bonus or a win bonus or anything like that. Just hang on, get a few extra quid in my pocket.
Bring yourself on. Why not?
That's the conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theorist in me coming up with that.
Well, there was one this week, wasn't there? The Southpool chairman, who was manager as well, sacked himself. So that was one of the strange things of non-league football. So Ware have got a throw in.
I wonder what the fly on the wall would have made of that meeting.
Let's have a word with the chairman. Why did you sack yourself? Declan Niche just hoofs it into the Northley area. Jamal Brankett is another player. Been impressed with him. Last time I've seen him play, he's been an attacking player, but he's fitted in very well at right fullback. And chests it down to James Foster. 51 minutes we've played now. 6 over the top by a referee. He's not looking at his watch as the ball comes off the back of Dan Ruman's head. And David Sota will prevent the corner. Put it back to Freddie Burbidge. Fred's kick will land on the halfway line at the head once more of Lance Williams. Back on by Dan Romans. A little bit of aerial volleyball, and the ball will go out for a goal kick to Ware, and that will be it. The cheers you heard come from those that have tripped down from Oxfordshire. They will go back with smiling faces, but it's finished here. Ware 1, Northley 3. Well, the visitors deserved it. They scored 2 in the first half. A controversial penalty, it must be said, got it underway after 17 minutes when Greg Hackett and Jordan Spearman clashed inside the 6-yard box, and referee Latham pointed to the spot, and the spot kick was thumped to Freddie Burbidge's left by Carnell Chambers. Number 2 arrived just before half-time. Ware got on the break, and then it was put in by Linton Goss. And then, of course, in the second half of the game, it was Goss again after Ware had got themselves back in contact with a goal from Joe Dearman that put the ball across the box for Dan West. Didn't quite know what the man who was banging me on the shoulder wanted, but he's disappeared now, so I've got absolutely no idea.
I don't know. I didn't.
I think he's pointing, thinking that we're the Tannoy people, actually. But, I don't think he realises we're 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf, and as the rain absolutely tips it down here. If you have been listening in Oxfordshire, by the way, thanks a lot for your company, and thanks to North Leigh for giving us the social media following which they did. I'm sure we'll talk to you again when North Leigh come to East Hertfordshire, or we indeed go to Eynesbury Park. We'll enjoy that visit very much. So thanks for listening. And of course, if your team haven't got a game or whatever, you can always join us to listen to one of our East Herts teams in action. Good luck to North Leigh for the rest of the season, apart from, of course, when they're playing one of our 90 Minutes Live teams. Paul Halls is out there. It's pouring down with rain, and he's got that look in his face that says, "You lot are staying out here. I don't care whether you get soaked." And I think he's absolutely right. Back in action again on Monday, of course, East Herts Derby, Hertford against Ware. Ware would have not have wanted to go into that one on a defeat. We'll find out shortly what's happened in terms of Hertford Town are away at Aylesbury United, and we're drawing 1-1 at half-time. Dave Simon Gonzalez, what's going on there?
I can, yeah. I mean, I can give you an update from Kidlington versus Welwyn Garden City. There's been no action for the last 25 minutes or so, and it's still 2-0 to Welwyn Garden City. And Hertford Town, a victory for Hertford Town today. It's full time at Aylesbury, and the Hertford Town Cardosa in the first half went in 1-0 at half time, and Wilson Burnell with the winner for Hertford. So I mean that'll put them in good stead, ready for Monday. So I mean that could make things really interesting. They'll be buoyed by that 3 points, and Ware will obviously be heads down from today's results. So we could be in for an interesting afternoon on Monday.
Well, yeah, and with 7 points, they could be in the top 5, depending on what happens elsewhere.
They could well be, yes.
Hertford above Ware in the table. First time that's happened for a while, so it's going to be a bit of a belter at Hardingford Berry Park on Monday. Do join us then, 2:55. We will be live from normal time. Did it for a rhyme, really, live from 2:55. That kind of scans well, doesn't it? You can join us then. You can see the highlights of this one. If you're a Ware supporter, I'll watch it from behind the sofa on YouTube. And Simon's got something else to tell us here.
Yeah, I mean, just a little other update from the Hertford game. I can also tell you, I mean, they missed a penalty as well. Ben Hurd, it was Wilson Burnell that was fouled in the box. And Ben Hurd stepped up and he's put it over the bar. So, it sounds like it was a fantastic Hertford performance. So, congratulations to them for that. And, we'll see you all guys on Monday.
Certainly will. Well done, Hertford. Well done, Welwyn Garden City. And Ware, well, they live to fight another day. That will be on Monday. Don't even live. Take a rest next week. Well, I'm up in Norfolk and Dereham are down here. But the following week we'll have FA Trophy action for you. Well, we'll make our first trip to Welwyn Garden City when they're facing Basildon United. But all roads lead to Hardingford Berry Park on Monday, of course. Throw the form book out the window. It's an East Herts derby. It's Hertford against Ware. Don't we love those? Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll leave you with the full-time score here at Watson Park, where it finished Ware 1, North Leigh 3. Enjoy the rest of your evening.